and we are going to begin with Sabbath Dinner Theater, where young William is in the bookshop, and he is multitasking a little, so he is reading in Sabbath for Dummies as a good little boy. At the same time, he is sneak peeking into text about Sabbath rituals, totally because, the bishop will not notice this, of course, in his mind, it seems. And he is also looking from time to time at a map of the city, just trying to get, the one hanging on the wall that was previously mentioned. He just wants to. It seems like he's planning something. His mind is clearly churning out some devious ideas, hopefully, or it's just incompetent. That could also be something you can judge out of it. Yep, judge out of it. He is dressed in the new clothes he got when he arrived, so he doesn't stink anymore. All good. It's just being a little shovelhead, trying to learn stuff.
The moment you change your clothing in the morning, very early in the morning, you can definitely hear someone outside of your door knocking with his cane on the wooden door, which you know to be a very, very heavy steel door.
Mm-hmm.
Asking if you're ready.
William looks up, and he looks up and he goes over to the door to open up, and he's like, ready for what exactly? To go out into the wide world, or ready to, go not read Sabbath for Dummies and read Sabbath for not so much dummies? He says,
ready to take the test of competence in some sort, if you will.
I have been, speaking about that, I have been asked by a priest of a pack named Cerberus. He asked me if I wanted to join, and he gave me just like tests or of sorts, and he wants me to kill a certain amount of gang members and bring their hands and colors and stuff. Not really my forte, but I could probably do it with planning and strategy. Mostly planning.
So murder is what he thinks the sect needs. Interesting.
Apparently. I told him that I am more of a... I like to read more than I like to kill things. Even if, I don't mind killing things, but reading is more my thing. I like reading, as you may have noticed.
Yes. So, you having done all the reading, can you show me what you have learned?
Yeah, depends all that I've learned. I have learned. I have learned, basics about the sect, because the Svat for Dummies book is about the basic of how the sect is structured. It's structured kind of like a church, with bishops and similar.
Right, church structure. But have you learned the code?
Code of Milan?
Oh, yes.
And I don't really... I can't say I've remembered it, because... And out of character comment, I've not yet bought anything with XP or anything like that, so I'm not sure if my character has learned anything.
Well, it all
It should
depends
have.
on if
I mean,
this
it
is
should
going to
have.
be the moment that you're actually able to learn it. So,
I mean, it's
you proving that you can deserve the experience of that you can deserve the dots to buy it. So, the professor picks up a book, opens it, and inside there's a very foldable copy of a large copy folded up inside on the Code of Milan.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "What do you consider the most important code within the Code Milan?"
William is still pondering what to answer. So he's not really he's not going to answer this quickly. It's not because he doesn't know, but because he has to really consider the issue before. So he doesn't charge in, or at least that's what it's seemingly what he's doing.
The professor is very patient. He waits, but he wants an answer, and he wants a
Yeah.
constructive answer. And he waits. He leans against the table.
Hmm.
Have you figured it out yet, young man?
Yes, but I'm considering. I'm trying to juggle practicality and from an idealistic standpoint, because at the same time one can say that the spirit of freedom is the fundamental principle, and we should all expect and demand freedom from our leaders. It's also important to remain united in our support for the ones that lead us, and serve them, as long as they serve the will of the Sabbat, of course. So while I like ideals, I would say it's more important that the Sabbat should do the best to serve the leaders as long as the leaders serve the will of the regent.
Let me help you. One of the strongest fundamental things within the Code Milan is code number 11. The spirit of freedom shall be the fundamental principle of the sect. All Shabbat shall expect and demand freedom from their leaders. Alongside that single rule, of course, hangs the second one. All Shabbat shall do their best to serve their leaders as long as the said leaders serve the will of the regent. And the regent is the man who leads the sect, and his will is the sect's will.
Mm-hmm. He just nods because he doesn't really have anything to add to that. Is what he said after. It is what his point was when he talked, after all. So I would say code number 2 is the most important one. In my ignorance, I would say that from what I've read and from what little I can remember and of what I've experienced, it seems more important for me to serve the Sabbat leaders as long as they follow the will of the Sabbat or the regent.
The professor rubs his temples for a few moments. He says, "Get dressed, we're going outside."
Okay. He gets dressed. He doesn't really do anything more about it. It just takes on the necessary clothes, and he will be following the professor.
As the professor is leading you outside, it's dark, obviously. And through the darkness, on foot, the professor leads you to a car being parked close by. And he opens up the back door and says, "Get in."
And William doesn't say anything. He just gets in. He doesn't he doesn't really waste words on this kind of thing. He seems a little thoughtful, and he is clearly trying to judge the situation as they go along. He cracks his wrist a little, a gesture he repeats from time to time, and he waits while they obviously drive.
As they are driven, the professor does not drive himself.
Of course not.
Manservant of something else, stepping into the driver's seat of the car and takes control of the wheels, so to speak. And as they drive off, the professor instructs the driver to drive towards the south side, down where the rest of the tanks are. And as they drive downwards, you can see that the neighborhoods change. It changes from the area of reasonable, mediocre wealth to poor and poorer. And eventually he asks the driver, tells the driver to stop. And as they stop, the professor points towards the outside of the car. As you can see, there are groups huddling on the corner. And he says, "Do you see those people, those young men?"
Yes, he says as he tilts his head observing them. Or it doesn't, it came from a gaze, it doesn't really consider them to be more than just something there. He doesn't put more thought into it at the moment. It just is. There are some sheep wandering here.
Those young men wear the same color. They believe themselves to be united through that color and through a code on the street.
Mm-hmm.
A gang code. This gives them protection and also makes them liable in following orders.
Mm-hmm. He adds, just watching.
How do you think killing these men would help the sect?
Well, would it now, really? I mean, killing gang members, it could remove some competition, maybe, if we act in that arena. But at the same time, maybe someone spots me from that gang, and then they would try to kill me or people associated with me, and then we would have to contend with these people. Wasted time. At the same time, I'm not sure if I have a good enough picture of the Savat's goals here and what we work with to really judge properly. But from my perspective, it could just seem to be causing unnecessary hassle if the situation is complicated. He's just rubbing his cheek a little, just watching them.
These young men are unaware of the world that surrounds them, the world that holds us, as well as other supernaturals.
Mm-hmm.
When you go out into the world and make these men suffer your indulgence by fighting, killing, murdering them, you're hopefully serving a greater goal than simply self-indulgence.
He nods in agreement. He sees the point. At least it seems he does.
You have the right to ask why things must be done.
He just nods. He doesn't. He just waits for the point to continue. It seems. I don't like. I tend to ask questions. It seems.
Questions is what makes us free.
This is true. If we can't ask questions, then what can we do?
Blindness will follow. However, you have accepted a test in order to go join a pack.
I've at least decided to think about it. It depends if other packs would have me, what kind of test they would put me through. While killing is something I could do, I am more suited for other tasks at this time.
The sect will decide how they use you.
Pardon?
Remember this. But how they use you must never go against your own freedom of will. These things sometimes collide with each other. Make sure you balance them. Because I'm going to do something that collides with my personal beliefs. But I do believe it has to be done.
Okay.
You will not return to your sleeping quarters in the bookstore. What you will do is you will take a room in this neighborhood and observe those you need to subject to pass your tests. Learn about them. Understand them. After you've done this, do what feels right to you.
I will do as you wish. Because it doesn't.
Don't do as I wish.
Well, it doesn't collide with my freedom of will. This is a sensible idea. I can see it's a learning experience here.
You set your own path. Where this leads, only you can find out.
True enough.
The bishop opens the door and hands him a few dollars, not more than $100 in cash.
I can.
You have been taught about the code. You've had the opportunity to learn about our ways. Now go find your own way. Do what you must do to survive. It's a harsh world out there. Watch out for the beast, because it will not be kind to you. Watch out for people who see you as a shovelhead, because they will not hesitate to use you for their own advantage.
I appreciate the advice. I appreciate that you have given me a place in your bookshop temporarily, but still, it saved me. It gave me a chance to learn to your ways, and now I will try to find my own path. And he will accept the cash with a sort of half bow, because he can't bow properly while he sits, but he half bows towards the good bishop, and then he will leave the car.
As you leave the car, the bishop will actually step out alongside you, only for a moment. He will lean into you and simply say, if you decide that the life you're going to lead is not for you, come see me again.
I will, if that's what I wish to do.
At that moment, the bishop steps back into his car and they drive off, leaving you in the dark with just a little bit of cash and life lessons to learn.
William doesn't seem to mind this terribly. He goes back to watching the people, and finally he turns to explore this neighborhood. Maybe just a little walk at least. And here is an appropriate time to end the scene.